welcome to Geekology. I'm David Spillier.
And I'm Sven Hardy.
And tonight we're going to do a warm-up to 2014.
Absolutely.
Now, in 2013, we covered toys, movies, all the rest of it. We don't really know what toys are coming out with the toy fairs just around the corner. I mean, we've got rumours, but no solid.
Yeah.
TV shows, again, we've got rumours. So, why don't we just stick to movies? Because we know they're coming out.
And then cover anything we actually do know about afterwards, yeah?
Yeah. Sounds like a plan. So, what films have caught your attention in 2014?
Right, well, there was the little fact of RoboCop next month.
Smidge. Just a
Little tiny release.
The trailers have been awesome for that.
I mean, the first trailer was a bit, but the second one and the third one really got into their stride. The choice of doing the CES style viral video was quite cool. It's interesting actually because I've just watched RoboCop again, the first one, with a couple of friends.
I did the same.
Yeah, and it's a case of people who haven't seen it before, and they're suddenly, all of a sudden, this is the first viewing of it this has happened, they're suddenly going, oh, those effects look bad, and start laughing at it.
Bigger tellies, better resolution.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking, maybe it is time for a remake in at least that point of view.
You see, I disagree with you on the basis that it's time for a remake just for the special effects, because it's like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy said, some of them are quaint. You feel nostalgic towards certain styles of special effects.
Yeah.
And you know me, I always say, if a film can't support it on the storyline, it doesn't deserve to be a film.
And this is the thing, this is the 87 RoboCop, the storyline is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's a very, very good piece of cinema.
The only special effect that ever really let down RoboCop was my favourite little puppy, the s2e01.
Yeah, but I mean, already the footage we've seen of the new s2e01 already
is spectacular.
So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, the other thing is as well is it is going to be a different take on RoboCop. It's like the way to explain it is, yes, people love the original, they love the dark humour, they love the violence. I can't see either of those two parts being in it. Honestly, can't.
Humour changes from generation to generation. Dark humour doesn't go down well.
And I can't see it being ultra violent to anywhere near the extremes of the original RoboCop.
No, if they want the merchandising.
No, and it's PG-13 anyway.
Oh, there you
go. But then again, I personally, though I like the dark humour, I was never a big fan of the violence. I did not see the point of s2e01 standing there for 5 minutes or whatever it was, just shooting Kinney. I was just like, I'm bored now. And even now, I don't particularly enjoy watching Murphy get blown to pieces. So, you know, it's more my favourite parts of the original RoboCop movie start when he stands up as RoboCop and goes from there. The whole science fiction concept and the battle between the human and the robot side, which is basically what the new one is. It's more about the interaction between the human and the robot side of the character, so it'd be interesting.
Fingers crossed for that one. So, what else has caught your attention? Because obviously the Marvel and DC universe have really opened up, although all the DC stuff seems to have been pushed back, but all the Marvel stuff still looking like it's coming out of schedule.
We've got Captain America in April,
yeah,
Winter Soldier, obviously Bucky going mental. We've got Amazing Spider-Man 2 as well.
That should be
really good. But it's starting to look like they've put too many villains in it. It looks like you've got 2 main villains and then loads of others trying to be introduced. So hopefully it won't turn out like Spider-Man 3. Because that would be bad. There's also X-Men Days of Future Past in May as well.
Yeah.
So we've got Fassbender and Syrian.
And they're doing some really fun things with the comics for the X-Men at the moment as well. So.
Yeah, but this is actually based on one of the old comics,
it is,
so that's quite cool. And you got Guardians of the Galaxy a little later on in August.
Yeah, that one was kind of a surprise that they brought that one out. I mean, it certainly still got the fan base for it. So.
Absolutely. I mean, anything that's got Rocket Raccoon in. And the worrying thing is, I know Rocket Raccoon from the British Transformers comic a million years ago. Other films really that are grabbing attention, there's only really Godzilla as a big blockbustery type movie that's grabbing any attention from you whatsoever. And then a small, tiny little film is the Imitation Game.
Yeah.
Which is out hopefully at the end of the year, though they haven't even got a guaranteed date for it yet, so it might slip to 2015 to be fair. But that's the story of Alan Turing, and Alan's being played by Benedict Cumberbatch, so that should be interesting.
See, people have been tempting me with trailers going, oh, have you seen this? Oh, have you seen this? And there are lots of films that I really like the look of for the upcoming year. But the one that keeps just dragging me back to the internet going, is there a new TV spot? Is there a new trailer? There's another Muppets movie. And I'm not quite sure how they're calling it a sequel. I don't care how they're calling it a sequel. There's another Muppets movie out, and it really does just look awesome.
Dangerous criminal has a lot in common with the world's most famous frog. It's not easy being mean. Muppets Most Wanted.
Not one single person noticed I'd been replaced by an evil criminal mastermind?
It sounds worse than it was.
I am Kermit.
No, that's as bad as it sounds.
But it's hard to tell, because they did exactly the same thing for this one that they did for the last one, which is they just keep releasing spoof trailers. So they're releasing spoof, and the best. I mean, did you see all the trailer spots for the last film? It was great. They did a spoof trailer of a spoof trailer for their own film. It's like, what?
Oh,
so
God.
they certainly know.
Disney.
They know how to have fun with it.
Is it me, or is Disney just trying to take over the entire of the release schedule for
They have certainly got some interesting plans, and the thing is, it's because of all the subsidiary companies they're buying up, and the first time round that the Disney had the Muppets, I cringed beyond all belief, and they really didn't do much with the franchise. But this time round, give them a second whack at it, and you know what? They seem to be going from strength to strength.
It'll be interesting actually as we go forward, because now they've got, in 2015 we're getting the first new Star Wars film.
Yeah.
So they got that. They've got the Marvel Universe still expanding in 2015.
Yep.
Is Avengers Assemble 2 or the second Avengers film?
I don't know when it's scheduled for. So.
Because I'll tell you, I don't know if you've heard yet, but Batman vs Superman or Superman vs Batman has gone back a year.
See, that was the one I was really looking forward to.
Yeah, but there's also talk about them back to back filming the Justice League movie for the following year with it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, and apparently Gadot, not sure how to pronounce her name, she's actually been signed for 3 movies apparently, so that's 3 Wonder Woman appearances coming up. So if they do what's rumoured, which is that the Superman vs Batman movie, or whatever it's called, is going to end up having a cliffhanger, which will be resolved in the Justice League film.
Hopefully there won't be too long.
There better not be a big gap between it, because they will lose their audience. So yeah.
I don't know if they'd lose the audience. There's certainly going to be a lot more comics sold.
We'll see. Any other films that you're looking forward to?
Well...
Oh no, not that one.
What one?
You're not going... No, you're not going to mention that one, are you?
Which one? I know. You think I'm going to say Transformers.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Listen, I watched the first 2 in the cinemas with you. I'm not sure what hurt more, watching the screen, watching you. They were only okay films. They were not that. I mean, okay.
Okay for you.
Okay, you know I love the original.
Like a step going through my heart.
The first Transformers film was awesome. Animated, obviously.
Yes, the animated one, yes.
I was looking forward to live action. I knew that it wasn't going to be canon, and I knew that I don't know the canon, so that it didn't matter.
Now, if they'd have said at some point, if they hadn't have said rather that it was based on G1, it would have been fine.
But it's not based on G1.
But
even I know it's not based on G1.
They said it was, so you go in and you go,
Well, as I said, they were mildly entertaining films. Watching you suffer was slightly more entertaining than watching the films.
Yeah.
But having watched the last one without you and sitting there going, his axe is the wrong colour, and why has he got this and that, and no. And I sat with people who thought that I was the uber geek, and I was like, oh God, no. And I was muttering the whole way. Seriously, I swear the people behind me must have thought I had Tourette's. Because I kept muttering and turning to slag it off to you, who wasn't there. So, no, I'll wait for it to come out on Blu-ray. I will see it. But I'm not hugely bothered about it. I mean, to tell you the truth, again, one of the reasons that I kind of watched the first two was for Megan Fox, who everybody keeps assuring me is a great actress. I've seen lots of her work, and I disagree.
You know, she was rumoured to be Wonder Woman at one point.
Oh yeah, I was glad. Yeah, but lots of people were rumoured to be Wonder Woman. I liked it when Josh was there, because we had rumours of Sarah Michelle and Eliza Dushku, who I still think would be an amazing Wonder Woman. Eliza Dushku. I mean, don't get me wrong, Sarah Michelle Gellar can act.
Too small.
I've got nothing against the woman. I loved Buffy. I've actually liked several pieces of her work, but not as Wonder Woman. Yeah, again, too small.
Yeah.
And Eliza Dushku, absolutely lovely actress, wonderful woman. Really not the right build. You do expect
that can
it
change
to be
to a certain degree, because it's better considering who they've cast for Wonder Woman. In,
well, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see.
But no, the one I'm really looking forward to is Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
It's got to be Planet of the Apes. I mean, even if I wasn't a fan of the original films, the reboot, because obviously the Tim Burton reboot
was a bit okay.
Ooh, that didn't work. But I actually liked the reboot. I thought the reboot was clever. I thought it was well written, well done, well produced. Most of the special effects were very good, but again, I find myself literally just saying it more and more to people because they go on about it. It's like films shouldn't need the special effects.
No,
a film should. Most of the science fiction that, well, you know that I love, and you do like a lot of it, is stuff from the 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
They produce some great stuff. I mean, I grew up loving Mystery Science Theatre 3000. I'm sorry, but if you don't like films from the 50s, you can't watch them.
I must admit, though, talking about science fiction over the years, I am finding it very difficult now to watch the older Doctor Who, which is bizarre. Because previously I've been fine, but now I'm just, it's the effects and the sets and everything, it's just grating too much now. It's like we've maybe got to the point where we've got so used to things looking so good that going back in some cases just doesn't work anymore.
You see, that's what I find really hard, because you really kicked into being a big Doctor Who fan, I'm going to say about 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Something like that, yeah.
Right. I've never really liked Doctor Who. But the first 3 seasons, I loved the first 3 seasons of Doctor Who. First 3 seasons were amazing. It was just wonderful storytelling. And then it kind of lost me. I've watched all of it. Well, no, I tell a lie. I've not seen a few episodes of the newer stuff. But I've watched most of Doctor Who because I know so many Doctor Who fans, and they always say, oh, well, have you seen this episode? This will change your attitude. And he's like, yeah, seen it, no.
Well, it's interesting, actually, because I watched An Earthly Child not long ago, which was the first story.
Yeah.
And I had no problems with that. But it's 70s and 80s stuff, I just can't look past some of it.
As I said, the early stuff really worked for me. The new stuff, it just looks nice, but it's not my cup of tea. It really isn't. But saying that, you really didn't like Farscape when I was saying to you, how amazing is this? And you were like, so it's one of those things.
Yeah.
But that's one of the joys of the science fiction genre is you pick and choose what you like.
Talking about TV, is there anything coming up this year that we know about that you're looking forward to?
There's a few things, but I don't want to jinx it.
Ah,
I don't want to jinx
don't want to get cancelled.
What's happened every single time I've flown a flag for a TV show?
Yeah, this is true.
You know, I mean, I ran the for those who don't know, absolutely great show. Dead like me. I ran the official UK fan club the moment I got the licenses and it was all right, and straight down the toilet. It's a good pun. It's a good pun.
Yeah.
And the same thing has happened with several shows that I was like, woohoo, Birds of Prey.
To be fair, I think we
Bye-bye.
can reasonably be sure there's going to be a second season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, yeah, that'll get it. But
Because they've already signed people
yeah,
for it. So.
Yeah, but I don't need to wave a flag for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. People are going to watch that show regardless.
Absolutely.
You know, if I was going to wave a flag for something that's livelihood is looking a bit ropey, it would be saying like Arrow.
Yeah.
You know, started off great, starting to peter out, its fan base is diminishing, and I don't understand why. Because it's great, and if you read the stuff online, loads of people are saying great things about it, but the hardcore fans, the ones who were really raving about how excellent it was in the first season, disappeared, and I don't know why, and I don't know where. I'm surprised you've not mentioned more about the Turtles.
Well, yeah, because Michael Bay's got his teeth into it, so I'm like, it's going to be Transformers all over again, surely.
No, not necessarily. I mean, the thing is about the Turtles, I mean, people say about, what are you going to call canon? Because you've got the animated series, and then you've got the comic, but then there's the Western ones. Or are you going to count the Japanese stuff? Because the Japanese comics, the manga that they produced, so much better. And talking about manga, Tokyo Pop have released another Star Trek The Next Generation, and it's amazing.
Okay, I'm going to have to check that out at some point.
So, yeah, it's one of those things. What are you going to count as canon?
Yeah.
You know, and because it amazes me the amount of people that think that Turtles watch Japanese.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Quite.
And they really take convincing.
I mean, to be honest, there's two bits of information about this Turtles movie. One of which I hope was rescinded. I believe it was rescinded, but I'm not entirely sure. Which was the idea that the turtles are aliens. I'm hoping that was just a rumour.
Planet of the Apes is the one I'm really looking forward
Dawn
to.
of the Planet of the Apes does
I
look
mean, you know,
fantastic.
I've been a big fan for more years than I wish to confess. So that's the one. But again, the Muppets. It's just every time somebody says to me, "Have you heard about such and such?" My answer's always, "Yes, but there's a Muppets film." And whilst I appreciate they're not everybody's geek, and whilst I appreciate most people, you know, say they outgrew them, I don't think you outgrow the Muppets. I think it stays with you, and you just learn to appreciate it on a whole new level. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back next week with our first review of the year, which I think is going to be
something Starship-y.
Something
maybe.
Starship. Should we do
Maybe
Starship?
something Star Trek-ish.
All
Anyway.
right. Well, I know there's some Trek stuff coming up that we're going to get. So,
Yeah.
all right. Starships. See you next week. Bye.